This is Garis, Masculist, MGTOW flyers. That is 2 3-page essays on the themes of masculism and MGTOW, written by and read aloud by Prof. Dr. Hugo de Garis. This is flyer number 283, entitled Cuckoo Mothers. Description. This flyer labels a woman who lies to her boyfriend/husband that the baby inside her is his, when in fact it has been fathered by another man, as a cuckoo mother. To masculists, cuckoo mothers are criminals who should be prosecuted. A cuckoo mother parasites off her boyfriend/husband in expecting his money and labour to pay for the child that is not his. Cuckoo mothers are criminals and should be punished for their crimes. In practice, the para, that's paternity or rejection right, should allow the man to reject the pregnancy. If the man believes that the baby is his and the pregnancy goes to term, and he then discovers that the child is not his and that his girlfriend/wife has lied to him, then he should have an anti-cuckoo mother law he can use to prosecute her. Flyer itself. Cuckoo Women by Prof. Dr. Hugo de Garis. Email profhugodegaris@yahoo.com. Website profhugodegaris.wordpress.com. The cuckoo is a bird that lays its egg in the nest of another species and tips out one of the other eggs in the nest, so that the mother bird of the other species does not notice an increase in the number of eggs in the nest. The cuckoo bird is thus profoundly parasitic of the brooding behaviour of the other species. The cuckoo does not bother to brood her own egg. The cuckoo is the very symbol of parasitism. A cuckoo mother is a human mother who lies to her man that the baby she has inside her is her man's, whereas in reality it was fathered by some other man. A cuckoo mother is committing a major crime against her man who pays and labours for that baby. The cuckoo mother is committing as major a crime as the woman who lies to her boyfriend or husband that she's taking the pill when her biological clock is ticking hard and she really wants a baby. She then gets pregnant and forces him to pay for the baby, showing that she has no respect nor consideration for the wishes of her boyfriend who does not want the baby. Both of these are gender crimes that make masculists hate such women who commit them, who treat men as cash machines, to be abused, to be manipulated according to the women's wishes. These women who lie about taking the pill, and these cuckoo women, should be treated as criminals and be prosecuted, but in practice there's an easier way to solve the problem from the man's perspective, and that is to simply legislate the para, the paternity rejection right. It's outrageous for men that women feel that they can destroy a man's life, forcing him to pay for a kid that he does not want. It generates a real hatred in masculists against women's amoral attitudes towards men's interests, having no regard nor respect for the man's rights, not respecting his wishes. By legislating a para, a man can then simply reject an unwanted pregnancy, so that if the woman goes ahead with it, then the full financial responsibility for the cost of the kid falls on her shoulders. One of the main goals of the masculists is to bring in the para, forcing women to take financial responsibility for the kid that she brings into the world. She should have no right to force a man to pay for her to have a kid that she wants. Today's current system whereby men are forced against their will to pay for unwanted children is a major crime against men that ruins their lives. It's a form of slavery, man's slavery. This criminality on the part of women has to stop. which is one of the goals of the Masculists. Women have the mara, men don't have the para, the most blatant form of sexual discrimination that exists. But what about the situation where the woman is a cuckoo mother who lies to her boyfriend/husband, saying to him that the kid is his? The pregnancy then goes to full term, and the man then discovers that the baby doesn't look like him at all. Imagine he takes a paternity test and finds that the baby is not his. The baby might even be of a different skin colour, implying that his girlfriend/wife had sex with another man 9 months previously. How to handle this situation? ? The man should have the right to reject financial responsibility for a kid who is not his own. That is, the para should also apply in this case, but there's another criminal aspect involved here, and that is that the woman lied to him and expected that he would pay for her. She has therefore deceived him and hence should be eligible for criminal prosecution on the part of the boyfriend/husband. If the man is the husband, he might be so angry with his wife that he divorces her and prosecutes her for paternity fraud, that is, telling her boyfriend/husband that the kid is hers, actually is his, when she knows that that is not true. Or if she had several men as sexual partners 9 months previously, she should not lie to her man that he is the father, when there is a real possibility that some other man she had sex with might be the father. If the man deceived is the husband, and the couple already have 1 or more kids, then the husband may be less motivated to divorce his wife if he is attached to the children he already has. But if he is really angry and divorces her, then he should not only have the right of the para, but of joint custody of the previous child or children. The fact that women today can so easily push unwanted children on men, forcing men to pay for them, is outrageous, barbaric, and causes masculists to feel real hatred towards these fluffy parasite wives, these cuckoo mothers. I hope a century from now, when people look back at how badly men were abused when it came to unwanted fatherhood, that they will shake their heads in disbelief and wonder how people of those times, that is our times, could have had such barbaric attitudes that were so abusive of men's rights, of men's wishes. A major social shift is needed, which is where the masculists come in. Society needs to be reshaped so that all women are socialized and educated to be FIPs, financially independent persons, so that they are career competent by having studied career competent majors in high school and at university, so that they can be real FIPs as adults and not parasite off the money of a man. With all women FIPs, the para will be a lot more practical. Women will be able to afford to pay for kids that are unwanted by the man, especially when the mother is a cuckoo. Men should also be given the right to prosecute a cuckoo mother who lies to him about who the father is. There's so much the society still needs to do regarding paternity. The feminazis have taken over parental legislation and made it so biased in favour of women that men are now being royally screwed, so that the masculinist backlash when it comes will be volcanic, full of hatred and violence. Fluffies and cuckoos cannot destroy the lives of millions of men and expect to get away with it. Such women will be punished by masculists changing the gender laws, making them fair for men. New laws such as the para and an anti-cuckoo law need to be passed, and for that to happen, the masculist movement needs to educate society to the point that society feels the need to have such laws. However, imagine that women fight it tooth and nail, so that men become really convinced that women are going to remain amoral with respect to men's paternity rights, showing women to be children, irresponsible children. Once men collectively see women as children, as non-responsible, non-adults, then men will take away women's rights, particularly the right to vote. There's growing talk amongst the leaders of the MGTOWs and Masculists about this idea to strip women of the right to vote. Men do not give children the right to vote because children are not responsible for their own lives. They are too immature. Similarly, women will be tested in the coming years by a major political push by the masculists. If women resist this masculist push so strongly that men become convinced that women are incapable of seeing that men have rights too, and hence show that women are children, then men will treat women as children and deprive them of their rights, and justly so. So women, be warned. You must behave as responsible adults and not expect to be able to abuse men with lying about taking the pill, nor being a cuckoo. We men will not tolerate such behaviour and will make laws to stop such immoral criminal abuse of men. We will punish such female offenders. Bringing in men-fair gender laws is one of the major goals of the masculists, along with the creation of a FIP society, capital F, capital S, so that nearly all of men's gender issues can be removed. Making all women FIPs goes a long way in allowing that to happen. Cheers. Prof. Dr. Hugo de Garis. Email profhugodegaris@yahoo.com. Website profhugodegaris.wordpress.com. YouTube channels De Garis, Masculist, MGTOW, Flyers, and De Garis Essays. Patreon, patreon.com/profhugodegaris. Minds.com/profhugodegaris.